Hello student, welcome here in this YouTube channel initiated by Gnan Manjari Modern School. Well, today very interesting and beautiful poem we are going to start. The name of the poem is The Last Bargain, written by well-known poet Rabindranath Tagore. A very meaningful, deep message poem it is. So before we get started or before we get before we start this poem, I would like to give some information, or you can say prologue or introductory part of the poem. Well, this poem has deep meaning. This has meaning related to life's happiness. So where does the real life happiness lies? If this question will be asked to you, that what matter will give you real happiness? So someone will say that lots of money will give me real happiness. Someone will say a big bungalow will give me happiness. Someone will say a world tour give me happiness. And someone will say that property will give me a real happiness. But see, the answer may be different at different ages. But actually here poet wants to tell that real happiness doesn't lie in property, in money, in gold, silver. No. Real happiness lies in freedom. Real happiness lies in to do the things which gives us real sense of happiness, which gives us pleasure and which cannot be afforded. Means which is just expensive, and that is too expensive to be bought by the money. So here the central idea of the poem is real happiness doesn't mean lots of money, lots of property, a big bungalow, car and all. No. Real happiness lies in peaceful sleep, to give a hand to others, to help others, to sort out others' problems, and to give a beautiful smile to others. So that is the secret of real happiness. Here poet has just described this deep meaning through his words. Let's start it. Please keep a book with you and let's enjoy this poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Well, the poem name is The Last Bargain. The bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. See, this bargaining is not that new word for you all. If we go to market and if we like something, suppose you want to purchase a new car and the price of new car is 8 lakh rupees, and you just tell that person, that manager, to reduce the price, to reduce the amount of the car. That is called bargaining. So here the definition is given, that agreement in which both parties promise to do something to each other. That is called bargaining. In one hand you just give something to someone, on the other hand you just take something from someone. That is called real bargaining. Someone is looking for work, waiting to be hired. So here we have one man, and that one man is jobless here. That man is looking for job, means that man is searching for job. He wanted to be hired by someone. He strikes a bargain but think it worthless. So many people came across, and many people just offered very good things to that man, but that man didn't convinced by those people. He tries twice again but doesn't like either. Finally, in the last bargain, when he hired for something whatever, he is happy as never before. What is the bargain? Why is it the best? So many people came and many people bargained many things to that person, but that person was not convinced. At last someone has came and that person has done something for that person, another person, and that gives that person happiness. So what was that last bargain? That is the poem about. But before I go, I would like to give you the meaning of bargain. In agreement in which both the parties promises to do something for each other. That is called bargaining. Okay? Let's start the poem. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. Here I means that person. So one person was calling all the people that come and hire me. I want to work for you. I want work. I am jobless. I want to do something. So that man was walking on the stone paved road. It means that man was walking on the road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. So first who came? King came to his chariot. The king came to that person. That person who is just asking job. And king has a sword in his hand and he is in the chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. Means that king told that I will hire you and I'll give you power. Means king told that he would hire that person. Means he would give that person a job and he would give that person power. But his power counted for naught and he went away in his chariot. Naught means nothing. And king offered power to that person in place of job. Means king told that he would give job, but in return king would give power to that person. That power is nothing for that person. So he just denied and king went away. In the heat of the midway, the houses stood with the shut doors. So now that person was near the houses and the doors of those houses were shut. I wandered along the crooked lane. Wander means to run from here to there. Moved here and there. And crooked means not straight. Okay, student, you first note down these words. After that, I'll give you information. See, firstly that king came and king offered power to that person. Power was denied by that person and king went away. Now that person was there near houses and he was there on the road. An old man came out with his bag of gold. Now another person came, that is old man, and that old man has a bag full of gold. He pondered and said, pondered, it means thought deeply. So that old man thought deeply and said, I will hire you with my money. Means that old man was ready to hire that person. That old man was ready to give job to that person. Instead, in return, old man would give money to that person. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. Turned away means refused to accept. So that old man started counting money before that man, and that man refused to accept that job and refused to accept those money. Now page number 74. So he refused the king, he refused that old man, he refused power, he refused money, he refused gold. Now let's see. It was evening, the garden hedge was all aflower. Hedge means a fence. So it was evening time and garden was full of flowers, trees and plants. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. So there was one lady, maid means that fair maid. So that lady came out to that person and that lady told that she would hire that man with a smile. Means she would give a smile to that man. First king had decided to give power. Secondly, that old man decided to gold and money. And thirdly, this lady came and told that man that she would give a smile to that person. Her smile paled and melted into tears. She went back alone into the dark. But that man wasn't convinced by that lady too, because her smile was full of tears and her smile was not a real smile. That lady was very much sad inside. So that man just told that her smile will not give him freedom, and that's why he refused to accept that job and that smile as well. And when he refused to accept that job, at that time that lady went away into the dark. So it was evening time, and third person who came to that person, means who came to that man to offer job was lady, and lady was ready to give a job to that person, and in return of that she would ready to give a smile to that, but that smile was not real one. That smile hides a lots of grief and pain and tears. So that will disappoint that man too. That will not give freedom to that man. That's why that man refused to accept that smile, and as soon as he refused to accept that smile, that lady went away into the dark. Now last stanza. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. Glisten means to flash, to shine, to glitter, to sparkle, to twinkle. These are the meaning of glisten. The sea waywardly. It means willful, unruly, ungovernable, means no one is there to control that waves, and that's why those waves were just waving waywardly, means without anyone's control. So it means that it was a time of that late evening, and that man was there near a seashore. A child sat playing with shells. So there was one child, and that child was playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. So he just raised, means that boy raised his hand, and that boy told that person that he would hire, but he would not give anything to that person in return. From henceforward that bargain struck in child's play made me free man. Henceforward means, henceforward it means hereafter. After that, what happened? That boy told that he would not give anything in return in job of that person. So that man was ready, and that man just started playing with that boy, and that gives real pleasure to that man. Struck means attempt, means struck is a past form of strike. So that man has taken that chance, and he started playing with that boy, and that gave him a real sense of pleasure, because see, he was free in that, because he would not get anything in return, because that boy told that person that he would not be given anything in return of doing that job. And that was the actual thing that man needed, and that's why he just accepted the proposal of that boy. So here we have ended this poem. The deep meaning, central idea I'll give you, student. First you note down these new words. After that I'll give you summary of this poem. What is the summary of the poem? poem puts stress on the matter which gives real pleasure in life. Means by giving examples of the king, the poet wants to convey the message that these worldly things cannot give us real pleasure in life. Man cannot be free internally by having these all possession like gold, money, power, etc. So students, this is the central idea of the poem. Still something has to be written. See, the poem puts stress on the matter which gives real pleasure in life. By giving examples of the king, the old man, the fair maid, the poet wants to convey the message that these worldly things cannot give us real pleasure in life. The man cannot be free internally by having these all worldly possessions like gold, money, power, etc. It means if a person having 2 or 3 bungalows, a person having lots of money, a person having lots of property, a person having lots of happiness outwardly, that doesn't mean that that person is very much happy internally, because these worldly things will never give you internal happiness and will never make you free from all the possessions. You first note down this, after that I'll give you more information. Real happiness lies in helping other. Real happiness makes you free from all the possessions So this is the central idea, students. The real happiness lies in helping others. It also lies in giving one smile, giving smile to other, or giving one's smile, giving smile to other. And smile means a pure smile. Real happiness makes you free from all the possessions. Real happiness lies where you just do not have to give back something in return. Money, power, gold will not make you free. You cannot buy happiness with the help of these all. These all means this money, gold and power. So very beautiful poem it is. Please you note down this second paragraph of the summary. Please note down. Okay students, so here we have completed this poem, very beautiful poem. Now it's time to give you homework. Okay, you have to write the new words of this poem. We'll meet again in next video. Till then, take care. Bye.